Bienvenido, raza, a Puro Potente, where everything we talk about is potente. The past, the present, and the future. Today, we're going to be talking to the guys, seeing what they think about the up-and-coming show in Monterrey, catching up with them, and we're also going to be continuing conversation that we left off last week. We got some new information Johnny's going to be sharing with us, and we'll go from there. Gentlemen, how have y'all been? How was your week?
Johnny.
Gentlemen?
I'm doing good, buddy. Doing good. Slow week. A lot of rain. When it rains, I don't work, buddies. But now we're just getting ready, man. Gracias a Dios, man. Had a slow week, man. But still made it, and just getting ready. Like I told Antonio earlier, and I was telling Q, man. We have visitors, family coming over because my wife's side, they're having a big family reunion tomorrow, so they got a lot of people coming in from Corpus and all over, man. So just getting ready for that, man. Just getting prepared all week and everything. So, but other than that, bro, doing good. How about y'all? How about you, Q?
Pues aquí andamos, bro. Lace and I took the girls to go see uh, Lilo and Stitch, man, and they gave out free lays at the end of the movie. So
Mira.
Sid is sporting his lay today, man.
You
Just
like
got out
it?
of the movies, man. We're on our way home. It was cool, man. Up until I fell asleep because I'm super tired. I've been awake for over a day now, so I
It's all right.
slept for the
You're
last
used to
20
it.
minutes. But I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna go find it on maybe on one of these streaming services. Wink, wink. It may not be legal. Wink, wink. And watch the last 20 minutes. So
Yeah, man.
Okay, I need to go watch it all myself. So I saw little bits, but I was in and out of the theater. What do you call it? Taking phone calls, so it's Annabelle. So we got to watch it again as well. But what I saw, I liked, and
yeah, it was cool,
obviously,
man.
it seems like Disney is making up what they lost with the debacle disaster of Snow White, and even taking it further back. What's it, The Little Mermaid? When they change their
Yeah,
color,
Yeah.
when they change their
yeah.
color.
hmm Yeah, we're not gonna talk about the color.
Ay,
Uh,
ay, ay. Oh, well. Gentlemen, anything else? This is going to be a short show, ladies and gentlemen. Just simply, like I said, Johnny's got some stuff to do. Q obviously is on the road. He's tired. And so
oh,
we're just going to
I,
go ahead.
sí te iba a comentar que. So I had my physical therapy today, man.
Oh, let's hear about it.
And so last week, my one of my physical therapists, one of the guys that's been working with me, his name is Joseph, real cool cat, man, and he recognized that I was in a lot of pain. I'm still in a lot of pain, and that the physical therapy isn't really accomplishing much. Again, like I said a couple of weeks ago, basically doing it so that we can get the MRI done. Um, and so he was going to recommend to the orthopedic my doctor's Dr. Bean, and
Not Dr. T.
to go, No, no, ese es otro doctor, güey, otro pedo.
That's another
Eso
segment. That's another segment.
no me afecta nada, güey. No, no
No
tengo
me
problema
afecta
con eso.
nada.
Pero so today he walked me over to Dr. Beans. They're kind of next door to each other, and so I got my referral for an MRI, and I'm just waiting to schedule. Hopefully next week, I'll get my MRI, and then we can move forward with a plan of action and find out what we're gonna do. Whether it requires a minor surgery, major surgery, or just kind of see where we are and what we're looking at. So that good news on that front, man. Hopefully, it'll point us in the right direction, and we'll have some closure on that issue, and I can finally heal from whatever the heck's going on with my shoulder, man. So that's good news. I'm happy about that, man.
That's good, man. That's good. That's
That's
good to
good
hear,
to hear.
Esteban. Hopefully,
Sure.
hopefully everything gets taken care of, man. Hopefully, buddy.
Ojalá, bro. Ojalá.
Yep,
Yeah.
for sure. Well, guys, like I promised, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna talk about the show in Monterrey, but we're gonna go ahead and do some commercials before then, and we'll see you on
Ladies and
the other side.
gentlemen,
All right, guys.
tune in Friday nights at 8 to the Puro Potente podcast on Tejano TV. You can view it by clicking the live podcast link in the Tejano TV app on Roku TV, on your cell phones, or on the Mas Chingon website. Don't miss an episode. Friday nights at 8. We'll see you in the Potente studio.
All right, guys. Damas y caballeros, finalmente salió el flyer para todas las redes, promoviendo el baile de 4 de julio en el Corral. Va a estar Juan P. Moreno, son el Tigre Signs, Potente y Rainbow Music. Queremos invitarlos a toda la gente de Monterrey que hace mucho que no nos miran, ya que son como unos 27 años que no hemos pisado un escenario en Monterrey. Estamos emocionados de esta oportunidad. Queremos primeramente darle las gracias a Juan P. Moreno por hacer este sueño una realidad. Muchísimas gracias. Va a ser un placer poder compartir el escenario con él una vez más. Johnny, tell us something, man. What's going on? What do you feel about this, man?
I'm ready, man. I'm ready. I know we got a practice section coming up June 14th. So I mean, it's gonna be a good one, man. It's gonna be a good one to get ready for that show, and I'm excited, man. I'm excited for everything that we're putting together, and we're working hard on it, man, and gonna go out there, man, and give the people what they wanna see, a good show, man, and I think it's gonna be good, buddy.
Saludos from Tejano TV, Juan Mendoza. Muchísimas gracias por sintonizar, mi amigo.
Saludos,
Johnny,
Juan.
you and I were back. Juan took us back into our infant ages, okay?
And baby Johnny.
So it was baby Anthony and baby Johnny. They were anunciando los top 10. That was funny. Hey, I told Juan, I said, hey, before the show, I said, hey guys, Juan, do you want us to do some spots? Send me the countdowns that we need to do. And I said, hey, are we gonna be babies again? No, we're gonna return to our adult form today. I was like, no, man, babies. You didn't get to be a baby.
I just saw it a while ago, man. I remember what I was looking at, man. I saw it. I was like, that's pretty cool, man.
Hey,
Gabino, saludos, Gabino, de parte de Potente. Thank you, my friend, for all you do for Potente. Boy, Johnny, talk to me.
Hey, Esteban, le estaba diciendo a Anthony, dije, well, chinga, I said, if Juan wanted just audio, I wouldn't have took the time to get all dressed up and put my superstar glasses on y todo. I would have just recorded audio, but no, hombre, I was over there doing video.
Te hubieras quedado en los boxers, güey.
Yeah, I could have done
Joey.
it. I could have done it in bed or I was asleep.
I know, no. Hey, I guess he still needed your mouth to move.
Oh, okay, that's what it was.
You still needed to get your mouth to move, dude.
No, pero saludos, Juan. Good job, man. Saludos, man.
Oh, yes. So, we are going to be doing the spots, guys, after the show. Una vez más, este show ha sido un show que hemos estado tratando de sentar desde, pues, la verdad, desde que pegó la pandemia. Íbamos a ir en abril de 2020 y, pues, claro, pasó lo de la pandemia y, pues, se canceló todo. Claro que se canceló. Déjame ver aquí. Me está diciendo why are we missing in here? Background music is okay. Yes. Let's go ahead and mute this so we can hear this. Sí, pasó lo de la pandemia, claro, y pues, pues eso nos robó la oportunidad de volver a Monterrey. Y pues desde entonces, ya que pasó todo eso, como los últimos de 2021, 2022, hubo oportunidades, pues estamos en pláticas con promotores tratando de sentar fechas y pues ya sabes, lamentablemente hay muchos promotores que nomás hablan y dicen o quieren ser promotores o no sé, pero nos engañan y pues, ¿qué puedo decir, Q? Pues tú, ¿te ríes, Q? Pues dime algo, ¿qué crees? ¿Qué piensas tú de eso?
No, yo no opino nada, bro. No tengo opinión.
No, si tienes opinión, compártalo, güey. No tengas miedo. Aquí estamos en el estudio de Potente como quiera.
Ah, bien, me diga que si me dicen que no me quieren, pues que no me quieran, que no les gusta la música, no les gusta la música, no hay pedo. Yo no me agüito, no me rajo.
Pues, y pues ya sabes que el año pasado, hubo varias oportunidades, pues, no, intentos, no oportunidades, intentos de sentar la fecha, y pues lamentablemente, como les digo, por cosas afuera de nuestro control, no se pudo sentar una fecha. En agosto del año pasado salió el flyer. Estábamos muy emocionados de la oportunidad de volver y compartir la buena música de Potente con toda la raza de Monterrey, pero como te digo, lo posponieron, cancelaron. Johnny, it's the same thing, brother. Cancel, postpone, right?
I was when you told me the next time cuando me dijiste que hey vamos a ir, nah, okay, whatever. Yo ni me emocioné, nada, yo no, yeah, whatever. No, lo que sea, lo que salga, ya no le creía, pues, ya no le creía, ya no le
¿Ya
tenía
no
fe, ya no le
tenías
tenía fe.
fe?
Nah,
En serio,
nah,
ninguno de
nah.
ustedes ya tenían fe. Se
No,
me hace que
no.
hasta a veces que yo fui el único que nunca me agüité, porque pues ya sabes que este show, pues un show en Monterrey es un sueño hecho realidad para nosotros, especialmente siendo que tenemos bastantes fanáticos en Monterrey. Y pues yo tengo muchos amigos fanáticos que conviven conmigo por Messenger, me envían mensajes a diario, unos y otros pues de aquí a allá me envían mensajes: ¿cómo estás, maestro? Saludos de parte de Julio, Juliano, o lo que sea, ¿me entiendes? Y pues yo convivo con ellos cuando se pueda, y pues la verdad es que estamos muy emocionados de finalmente poder compartir nuestra música en vivo con toda la raza en Monterrey. Q, ¿le quieres mandar saludos a la raza de Monterrey?
No, fíjate que quería comentar que yo jamás me agüité, o sea, eso no era el problema. El problema para mí era que, pues, no quería, no quería estar con la esperanza, mantener esa esperanza de ir. No, o sea, no quería estar en contacto con alguien que me estaba ilusionando, ¿verdad? Que me estaba diciendo que sí van, sí van, sí
Ándale.
van. Sino que, ¿sabes qué? Dígame, se hace cuando se hace, ¿verdad? Y ya no te molesto. Nomás dígame la verdad, dígame, oye, se hace cuando se hace. Está bien. Ya cuando me hablas o me mandas mensaje, ya sé que se va a hacer, ¿verdad? Pero eso de que estar diciendo que sí se va a hacer y diciendo tal día o tal mes o tal fecha, no, ¿sabes qué? Mejor no me digas nada. O sea, te quedas callado y me dices, ¿sabes qué? Ya está la fecha y que sea algo sólido, tu palabra, ¿verdad? Ya está
Claro.
sentado y me diste palabra y ya se va a hacer. Y es lo que no me gustó más que nada.
Entiendo, me imagino, pues, pues yo y Johnny ya sabes que nosotros convivemos a diario. Esas conversaciones los tuvimos el año pasado y hasta en los primeros de este año, en enero, febrero, estamos igual. Ya, la verdad es que yo había perdido las esperanzas en los primeros de este año, con el cuento que nos estaba yendo poco bien con las tocaditas y con los videos y con y las grabaciones. Había un poco de movimiento, y pues todo se estaba viendo bien. Entonces, pues yo pensé entre mí, pues, ¿sabes qué? Bueno, si Dios no quiere que vayamos para México, pues a lo mejor Dios no quiera, ¿me entiendes? Y había pensado yo, porque el que nos había contratado en aquel el 2020 para ir para Monterrey era Juan P. Moreno. Y pues con el cuento que se había enfermado, no sabía si todavía estaba promoviendo bailes o llevando artistas de aquí de los estados para allá, para Monterrey. Y verás que de un día a otro me envía un mensaje, eran como las 11 de la noche. Oiga, ¿qué pasó? ¿Estás ocupado? No, llámame. No, pues vamos. ¡Pum! De volada, Juan P. Moreno, ¿qué pasó? Hey, ¿quieren tocar un show el 4 de julio? Sí, pues claro, vamos. Pues ya saben cómo pasó eso, muchachos. Primero tenía que chequear con ustedes sus horarios, a ver si se podía. Y pues ya saben, sí se pudo y era solo cuestión de tiempo cuando íbamos a poder anunciar ese anuncio, ¿me entiendes? Claro que tenía que salir el flyer, la, la promoción oficial antes de compartirlo. ¿Y cuándo fue? ¿El domingo? Se me hace que el domingo, Juan, en la mañana, 8 de la mañana, ahora compártalo. Ah, cabrón, claro que sí, claro. No, no, emocionado de poder compartirlo con toda la raza. Y pues ya sabes que todos me comienzan a enviar mensajes. Sí, es verdad, sí salió. Blanca fue la que me dijo antes de que lo vi con Juan P. Moreno. Blanca ya salió el anuncio.
Oh,
So, no, ella ya había visto.
qué
Qué
bueno.
bueno, parece que gracias a Dios y gracias a Juan P. Moreno por darnos esta oportunidad. Queremos ir a poner un show, pero tremendo. Queremos que sea un espectáculo para una noche que la raza no se va a olvidar de él nunca, porque va a ser el retorno de Portente después de 27 años. Johnny, ¿quieres decirnos cuándo fue la última vez que fuimos para Monterrey y quién estaba ahí?
El 97 es la última vez que fuimos y tocamos con Juan Moreno en Rodeo de Medianoche, ahí tocamos. Y yo me acuerdo que era el año nuevo, ¿no? Entró el año nuevo y
Sí.
luego el siguiente día fuimos para Laredo, para la Casa Blanca con Ramón Ayala y Jaime Los Chamacos. Ahí tocamos el siguiente día, era desde el 97.
Sí, un muchacho me envió el mensaje y dijo, ¿sabes qué? La última vez que vinieron, no sé si era el 97, 98, era el final del 97, era el año nuevo para el 98.
Yeah.
Y le dije, y me dijo, y verás que fue Juan P. Moreno que tocó con ustedes. O sea, exactamente, qué buena memoria tienes. Q, I don't know if you can read this, but this one's for you. Here we go.
I can't. Hang on. I got my video paused. Hang on one second, man.
That's all right. Well, I'll read it and you listen, okay? And I'm gonna have you take this one. Hey guys, I have a question to ask. So I noticed as I was scrolling through your albums in my collection that you guys actually have had a couple of name changes from Potente to Potentes del Norte to Eficaz back to Potente. I was wondering if there was a reason behind it or you guys were experimenting with different names. Love your guys' music. Well, thank you, Robert Martinez. And here goes. Well, this is good. Thank you for asking such a great question because now we get to eat up some time because this was going to take up some time. Q, what do you think about that? You hear me, Q?
Yeah, hang on one second, man. Hang on.
Okay, well, I'll go first and then you tail on me, okay? Well, Potente was what we started with. Our very our official name when we hit the industry. And then, if you watched other episodes, we've discussed when we were with Freddie Records. At that time, the late 90s, the Tiranos del Norte were doing very, very well. and that market was was a lot larger than the Conjunto Tejano market. So Freddie wanted us to push in that direction, and we had that background. We were younger guys, so that's why we saw the Potentes del Norte go that route. And like we've mentioned, Johnny, we ended up taking a couple of steps back instead of forward because that market is so much bigger. And then, of course, we went back to Potente for a while. That's when we had taken a break, and then we came back. My brother and I, we tried it again. It wasn't the same. We weren't kids anymore. We had families. Just wasn't the same. We weren't willing to sacrifice what we'd sacrificed in times past. And then, of course, we had the long break. Johnny, you want to talk about a little bit about that?
That's when we had the long break. We had about a 20-year, 20-year break.
About 18, 17,
and
18, something like that.
and then I had to call. It was in 2020, October 2020. Anthony calls me out of the blue, buddy, out of the blue. I had seen them playing prior to that, but I didn't think nothing of it. I just seen them playing with different guys, and I had seen them in San Antonio at a church festival. That's the first time I saw them playing, and then I seen them doing a couple of other gigs, little parties and that. De repente I get the phone call, man, October 2020. Hey man, you want to play? I need a drummer. And I was like, man, I ain't played in a long time. Dijo, no, hombre, come on, man. I know you can do it. I need somebody that can, that's gonna back me up, and because I know you can do it, and you're the guy. So I went to Kingsville, man. I went and did the gig with them. Y gracias a Dios, man. I mean, a little rusty, pero salió bien the gig, man. And we had a good time, and from there, buddy, it's history, man. We're here. Aquí estamos.
All right, Q, tell us a little bit of Eficaz because we need to finish that and wrap that up back here.
Yeah, man. So the thought process there was when we came back, when Anthony contacted me and asked me if I was interested in playing. He was playing with another band, and he wanted
Richard.
he needed an accordion player, and he's all like, "Hey man, would you be interested in playing?" And I said, "Yeah, I was a little skittish at first. I didn't really want to commit to anything because I wasn't sure if I could still do it on that level, And when we came back, we decided we wanted to go in a different direction. We wanted to separate ourselves from Potente in a sense that we wanted to start all over. We wanted a new beginning, and so we figured if we changed the name, people would forget about Potente and wouldn't associate Los Hermanos Quintanilla with it. And unfortunately, that was not the case. You, you can change the name all you want, man, but anybody's who hears of me and Anthony and sees us and like, hey man, those are the guys from Potente. He doesn't, man. They're always going to be the guy Potente, the brothers from Potente. It's always going to be Anthony Esteban. It's always going to be Potente. So Los Quintanillas de Carn City, it's always going to be the same. So we realized that it didn't do us any good to change the name and try to move in a different direction. We would just capitalize or take advantage of the fact that we already had a name established with Potente, and we should just carry on that. That's kind of what everybody that we were getting feedback from. That's kind of what they were telling us. Is like, hey man, why change the name? Nobody really understood it. So we figured if they don't understand it, like why are we continuing to do this? So we scrapped that idea and we went back to Potente, and I think it was the best move we could have made. The name Potente is nostalgic for some people, and it resonates with other people. And so I think that was a great move on our part. And we're really proud of the name and what we accomplished as Potente some 25, 30 years ago. So we just want to carry on from there and continue on with that name and see where it leads us.
La verdad es que cuando nos juntamos ya de una vez después de la larga ausencia, como se dice, como muchos dicen en México, yo tampoco no quería ser parte de Potente porque se me hacía que pues eso ya fue, ¿me entiendes? Era algo que ya fue. Y por eso, en mi opinión, cambiamos el nombre y la verdad es que antes de la pandemia, el nombre Eficaz, ya íbamos haciendo unas cosas, estábamos avanzando. Acuérdate, ya había unas cuantas tocaditas, unas estaciones de radio ya nos estaban apoyando como Eficaz, y también pues ya estaba el show en Monterrey sentado. Íbamos a estar en el Vegas Showcase íbamos a tocar en el escenario de David Farías. So ya había cosas que nos estaban yendo poco bien y bueno, lamentablemente pegó la pandemia. Quizás eso fue una seña que Dios nos estaba dando, que no, ustedes no van a ser eficaz. Vale más
Yeah.
que regresen a Potente, porque si no, va a seguir la pandemia.
Yeah.
Realmente nosotros fuimos la razón por cual se acabó la pandemia, porque regresamos a Potente y bueno, ya nos olvidamos de la pandemia, ¿no? Qué bueno. Y ya se sentó esta fecha aquí en Monterrey, en el Corral, con Juan P. Moreno y Tony Tigre Sainz. Yo soy un amigo de Tony. En Facebook va a ser una experiencia buena para poder ver a Tony en vivo y también saludarle en persona, a conocerlo, porque yo sé que Tony tiene muy buena música primeramente y tiene bastantes fans allá y siempre pone buen show. Estoy pendiente de todo eso, vigileo sus shows, también a Juan P. Moreno. Va a ser un espectáculo, raza. Si el 4 de julio, el viernes, si tienes la oportunidad de, ver el show en vivo, pues anda, compra sus boletos y los vemos ahí esa noche, el 4 de julio, con Juan P. Moreno y Tony Tigre Sainz. Y si no, estoy tratando de ocupar a alguien para que pues de perdida la parte del show de nosotros, poder transmitirlo en vivo por nuestro canal. Estén pendientes de eso, raza, porque se me hace que sí se va a lograr. Y para los que no van a poder ir, o los aquí de los Estados Unidos, van a poder, quiera Dios, primero, que van a poder sintonizar nuestro show por la página o el canal YouTube de Potente. Let's see. Let's take one we got here, Q. Let's see one. I don't know. I put it up.
Hang on, brother. Hang on.
Dale,
You got several people here, man. Saludos para. A ver. I know I saw. Who did I see up here? Gabino, Juan Mendoza. Saludos, Juan.
Jason
Richard
Nunez.
Refugio Bobcats.
Refugio.
Richard.
Robert Martinez, thank you for the question, Robert. Appreciate it. I hope we answered your question. George Vences, Jason Nunez.
What's up, George?
I think I covered everybody there, man. Conjunto Ben, yeah, he's in the house, man.
What's up, Conjunto Ben? Thank you. Hey, this guy plays a lot of our music, man. I don't know you guys don't listen, but I listen to it.
Saludos,
Radio. Saludos, SAS Radio, Conjunto Ben. Thank you for tuning in. Muchísimas gracias. Thank you so much for playing our music. This guy really supports Potente. He's a big fan. Q, I need you to give me some of the old music. Do you have it on your phone after this? Could you send me some of the older hits?
Which ones? What are you looking for?
You pick the older hits, some of the older hits. Conjunto Ben wants to play them on the show. I knew I had them, but I don't know where I have them. So if you could send them to me, and I'll email it to him. 156.
Yeah, I can get you stuff, but it's all at home, man. I got it all on CDs.
That's fine.
Man. Yeah, I burned it all on MP3s on CDs. I got several. Man, I'll send you give me an address, man, and I'll send them the whole disc. It's got everything. Everything.
Well, put it on a Google Drive.
I might be able to do that. Yeah.
Put it on a Google Drive, and then what do you call it?
Yeah.
And then what do you call it? I'll tell you what email to send it to him, and he can download it off there.
Yeah, that'll work. Yeah. There's stuff on there, like there's stuff that, dude. So that is all of Potente's music, bro. Like stuff that we didn't release, stuff that was like studio cuts, stuff from back when it was just me and Anthony playing Mi Muñequita Encantadora.
Oh my God, we don't need to send him that. We do not need to send him that.
Dude, this is like 1989, 1990, bro.
Hey, va a decir,
I was 12
Conjunto
11
Ben.
years old.
El Conjunto Ben gonna say, no, send it.
Hey, that's a goal right there, man. That's stuff.
Thank you, Robert.
Else has that
Appreciate
stuff,
it.
Man.
Thank you, Robert. Appreciate it.
No, como te digo, para mí esta va a ser una noche especial después de tantos años poder volver a tocarle al público que en un tiempo nos aceptó muy bien. Y esta va a ser una oportunidad para enseñarles a ellos, o como te diré, para volver para enseñarles lo que ellos significan a Potente, ¿me entiendes? Un show después de tantos años y poder tocarles las canciones, sus favoritas, muchas de sus favoritas que fueron éxitos en aquellos tiempos. Para mí va a ser un espectáculo y yo sé que toda la raza le va a gustar. Va a ser un show que no van a querer perder. Si puedes estar ahí esa noche, anda, compre sus boletos y vigiléalo en persona. No es igual, sí lo vamos a estar transmitiendo por nuestro canal, pero no es igual ver una banda después de tantos años, la energía que va a estar en el corral no se va a igualar en tu teléfono o en tu computadora o lo que sea, ¿ok? Muchachos, ¿tienen otras cosas que quieren decir tocante este show?
Yo nomás le quiero mandar saludos a Mr. Jason Nunez. Did you see his el comment? He says, Jason Nunez dice, I remember I got on stage to play drums with y'all way back in 1996, 97, maybe. He said in Catula Main Street Bar. I played Linda Morenita. Y'all had little school bus. Hey,
I remember
Anthony,
that school bus.
Anthony, you remember that bar? It was right on the side of the highway. Remember
I
that? Right there on that main
remember.
drag?
I remember.
I remember that. I remember that bar too, man. And I was
Yeah.
just, that's funny he says that, man, because I was just talking to my girlfriend and she's all like, "Are you sure we didn't meet before?" And I said, "The only time I can remember playing in that area," she's from the Dilicotula area, and I'm like, "The only time I can remember playing is I remember we played at a bar. It's like a little sports bar." I said, and it was over in Cotula, Dili, somewhere over there. I said, but man, that would have been like 97, 98.
Yeah.
I said, she would have been like 11 or 12 years old. I said, so there's
no
no way
way.
it was that. There was no way it was that diamond. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's funny. It's funny you mentioned that. It's exactly what I was talking about, man.
I remember right across the highway there was that like a little hamburger stand, remember?
Yeah, we went
Estaba
to
la
go eat that
gente.
thing.
Yes.
Yeah, we would go
I
eat there.
remember.
We would go eat across the highway. Yeah, little hamburger stand.
Gentlemen,
Yeah.
those were the good old days. And of course, on the
Martin.
future episodes, we're going to have a lot of conversations about that and people who remember going to shows and see what we remember about those shows. It's going to be entertaining over the next, several months as we get into that. But I know, Johnny, you need to move on. Go ahead, Q.
Saludos para Martina Lanis, también a María Bea. And
Yeah.
Jason says, yeah, me and Elio Ramirez got on stage. Yeah, man. I haven't seen Elio in a while, man.
It's
If
been
you
a
see
while.
him, man, tell him I said what's up, man. I haven't seen him in a
Yes,
while,
sir.
man. Send me a message or
Saludos,
something,
Elio.
man.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Let's see where
No.
we're at. Right. Go ahead, Q. Go ahead.
No, sí queríamos, quiero personalmente mandarle, enviarles la invitación, hacerle la invitación a la gente de Monterrey y bueno, pues esa área, ¿verdad? Que nos acompañen, por favor, el 4 de julio, porque va a estar el show tremendo y y no se lo van a querer perder, ¿ok? Ahí vamos a estar. Con un show tremendo, algo que estamos planeando con todos los hits de aquellos tiempos, ¿verdad? De Querían Más y Delito, Unleashed, las grabaciones de Potente, ¿verdad? Durante los 90s, ahí vamos a estar con esos éxitos, tocándolos en vivo, no se lo van a querer perder.
Eso así está. Esperamos verlos a todos ahí, como en todos los episodios de Potentes de aquí hasta el día del show. Vamos a estar anunciando cosas, a lo mejor pues lo que se oiga, ¿me entiendes? Y invitando a toda la raza, porque como te digo, esto es algo especial. Un grupo que deja de tocar y pasan pues casi 3 décadas, un cuarto de siglo, más de un cuarto de siglo, pasan y vuelven al escenario. Es algo especial, claro. Yeah. All right, we got to move on to the next segment, guys, because I know you guys got to get out here real quick. So we're going to see you on the other side of the
La primera selección se...
La primera selección, guys. Before we get into this next segment, Johnny, you're gonna like this one, all right? You see Johnny Calanes on there, right? Esta selección, una espuma para arriba, para arriba. Arriba, para arriba. Well, before we get into this next segment, it's gonna be a continuation of what we were discussing last week. But before, I want to show everybody, when I hear Jaime, Los Chamacos, this is what I remember, and
Llama
this
un
is what
complejo,
I
señoras y
want to share with you
señores.
guys.
Los chamacos con Jaime de Anda. You got it. Take it away. Eso.
Te casaste con un rico por la pura conveniencia. Tus padres te lo obligaron, hoy sufres por mi presencia. Recuerdo que me dijiste cuando perdiste conmigo, no podré querer a nadie, necesito tu cariño. El amor que yo te di, con nadie más lo compares. Vives en gran opulencia, orgullosos son tus padres.
Gentlemen, no one ever did it better, gentlemen.
Nope.
Nope.
That's a sound that will never be duplicated, man.
That's
Never.
when they talk about never duplicated or original and all that. What's the same, Johnny?
Never duplicate. Always imitated, but never
Never
duplicated.
duplicated. That's the sound that they're talking about. I'm just saying, and I'm not putting anybody down or
No.
any of the musicians that play in that band afterwards. But that's the sound that's the sound I'm talking about.
Como dice Anthony, como dice, esa es la mera mata que comenzó todo ahí. En este estilo,
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man, that was awesome, bro. Back in the day, no, hombre, I'm gonna say that was a shits right there, bro. That was badass.
Isn't that there for your Tormento outfit?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Right?
Yeah, it is.
Nombre se rayó JC Pini de madre cuando compramos botas de cine. Sí. Oye,
Yeah. Eso.
Yeah, eso.
Take it away.
Take it away.
Oh,
Well,
got it.
guys, what a blast from the past, and it's so good because, like I said, this is what was. This is what blew up back in the very, 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 very early 90s, late 80s, 89, 90, 91, 92, 80, 89, 90, 91. Yeah. In those years, that's when this was going on. And it's sad to see what something like that has ended up in. All right. Of course, last week we have this statement that Jaime puts out. And then, of course, that led to this official statement, the guys talking about, well, I own the name, and obviously we debated that, and that led to this earlier in the week.
yeah,
Doubling down, guys, doubling down,
yeah,
and well, this is still remains Puro
yeah.
Chamacos, right? And well, here, Johnny, this is the latest. Here, Johnny, this is the latest.
That's the latest. Powered by JDA.
What did you say, Johnny? Is that a power company or what?
Is that an energy company, man? Let me know. They got good rates, Pero not mocking nobody. It just we're just like, oh man, I mean, God, this is getting serious, bro. I mean, it's gonna these next couple of weeks and months. I mean, bro, it's gonna be interesting to see the outcome of this, man. Interesting.
It is, and we got into the discussion last week and about garnishing wages. Q, that was your portion of the show, garnishing wages. But before I get your opinion, Q, on the garnishing wages part, and we go and revisit that. Okay, we have a source, Johnny. You're not gonna have to out your
No.
source, but you have a source close to this. Tell us a little bit about why we think that Jaime is doubling down on this.
Well, you know me. I'm
Yeah,
not
we do know you.
TMZ, but I get sources once in a while. Pero I'm not gonna mention no names or nothing. Pero right after the show last week,
And I
hombre,
told you,
I
I
get a
told
text.
you that you'll reach out to your source because I
Yeah,
said I have a feeling somebody
yeah,
knows something about
yeah.
this, and we're just
I
not
mean,
getting the whole picture.
nomás se acabó el show, guys, y a los 10 minutos, hombre, phone rings, hey, I said, mire, guacha, what a coincidence. Pero a mí me dijeron, what they told me, que lo que pasó, and I'm gonna ruffle feathers probably, pero like we say, pero lo que pasó que
What you heard? You're just
when
reporting.
when Roel took over the name and got the contract y todo, lo que pasó, me dijeron que he was supposed to register and trademark that name. Y lo que pasó, he never did. So a mí se me dice que he had a time phrase to do it the way I was told y no lo hizo. So somebody got in Jaime's ear y Jaime fue y lo hizo. Y le dijo, hey, pues you know what? Se pasó el time frame. Aquí está tu chance, vato. Vámonos. Y es lo que me dijeron lo que pasó. And that's
Q.
why all this is going on.
Well, now remember, Q. We were talking about last episode about garnishing wages one way to the other. So would this, if this is true, now this is all just speculation, and if this is legit or not legit, eso se va a descubrir durante los siguientes meses, se me hace. Pero si es al otro lado, ¿qué opinas, Q?
What do you mean si está al otro lado?
Pues mira, el nombre, como tú me dijiste el episodio pasado, me dijiste, pues si Jaime usa este nombre y es el nombre de Roel, pues el dinero que hace con el nombre le va a deber un tanto a Roel. Ahora, si es Jaime el dueño del nombre, ¿no crees que es el otro lado?
Okay, so what I said was maybe that's not exactly what I said, but it's interesting. It's interesting how we hear things different, right? That's not what I said.
Hey,
So
playback,
what
playback.
yeah. So what I said was if he continues to use the name and there's a legal battle,
Oh,
there
okay.
could be garnishment of his wages
Yes.
moving forward to
Claro.
recoup any monies he
Yeah.
may owe during that time frame, right? During the trial or during
Yes.
not the trial, but during the legal battle, right? So that's what I was saying. Is like they could garnish future wages to cover the cost of that whatever, but not necessarily garnish wages to recover whatever
Yeah, from the
based
past.
on what he made. Not
Yes.
necessarily that. I mean, that's a different argument, right?
Okay.
And I'm not, again, I'm no legal expert. I didn't go to law school, and I don't know. I don't have
Yeah, me either.
I don't have a degree in law, and I certainly didn't pass the bar. I haven't even attempted it, but I would like to one day. I bet I could do it.
But
But
Kim,
anyway,
but Kim Kardashian did.
But
pues
no,
no,
Q,
no
but,
sé nada de eso.
but this is what I'm asking you here.
But what you're asking me is, what about going the other way? If Roel has used the name, well, that would only apply if, again, they can't. I don't think they can't retroactive this thing. You know what I mean? The day that he registered. Now,
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Now if Roel continues to use the name without proper authority, without having it registered, then yes, I mean Jaime could go back and say, hey, from this day, from this point, I made an official
Exactly.
announcement. It became official this day. He needed to cease using that name at that time. You know what I mean? And now if
Yeah.
he continues to use it, eh, just understand that when you go into the legal battle for this, and if you come out on the losing end, that may be something that Jaime, well, you know what, I want to go back and we're gonna garnish wages moving forward until I'm recouped X amount of money, or you can pay me the money outright. Whatever the court decides, or
Yes, of course.
whatever agreement they come to. I mean, it's always about the agreements that they come to and whatever the court decides. So, I mean, how he chooses to pay that money, if the court decides he owes money, well, I mean, that's up to him, right? Or they could just say, hey, no, ¿sabes qué? Just stop using the name y ya se acabó el pedo, ¿verdad?
But
Ya,
you would think,
we're not going
but
to
you
follow
would,
it from there.
but you would think he want to call it even and not charge. You know, Anthony?
You know what? I'm gonna say this. whoever these guys lawyers are, these lawyers need to be honest with their guys. And
Yeah.
I mean, I'd like to think that they are not just taking their money, because like I told you, Johnny, earlier, I said if if Royal if this is true, and like I referenced this last week on the episode when I said the problem here is that this is not a physical asset. This is a physical asset. How do you take somebody's house? How do you take somebody's car, even if it's not registered? Hey, you register, pasas traspasas los papeles del carro o la casa. Por con esto es un nombre, it's a trademark thing. You know what I mean? It's what you're talking about, Johnny.
Yeah.
It's a patented trademark thing. It's not something that is like a house or something. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And no estás acostumbrado. So yo puedo ver que algo así puede pasar en una instancia como esta, ¿me entiendes? Porque no es un carro, no es una propiedad, una casa o algo, un barco, ¿me entiendes? So, muy fácil, cosas así, porque these aren't things that you're buying. I mean, who buys something like this? I never bought nothing like this in my name. I mean, in my life, you know, in 50 years, I've never done this. Houses and cars and stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, it's funny because people do this kind of stuff all the time, man.
Yeah.
Not necessarily with band names, but with I know with like
Brands.
registered brand names,
Mhm.
names, and just so that the brand has to pay them money, right? That's why everybody you have to, if you're gonna go into business, you have to have all your ducks in a row, man. You have to have this stuff. Has to be pre-planned. You have to have everything in legally. You know what I mean? Your ducks in a row legally. Porque
Yep.
pues it can get messy later on. You're like, hey, well, this guy owned the name, and then you were using it for X amount of time. You made so much money. You're gonna owe me some money, and it just gets real messy. Unfortunately, it's a little different in this case because the name was already established. You know what I mean? And then
Yes.
there's a legal fight over the name that's already been established. So and there was other I mean all kinds of stuff going on with contracts and stuff like that. So I mean it's a very complicated situation that they're in. Um, Honestly, man, I don't know, man. If Jaime indeed registered and there was some lapse in the time that Roa had to register something. Again, I don't know the details, man. I don't know. I don't have these documents in front of me. I'm not
Yeah.
looking over it. I'm not a legal expert, but I
Yeah.
mean, but carajo, man, just let it go already. I say if the
Yeah.
name is yours, the name is yours. Y ya sacó el pedo and move
That's
on.
it.
And then the other guys, hey, man, find another name or figure out some way to be creative with the name and move on, man. Everybody, cada quien en su dirección, ¿verdad? So
Yeah. Yeah.
Johnny, what,
That's,
what do you got to say?
no, I mean, it just, I'm not saying that, it's what I said is true. I'm just saying what I heard from my source,
Of course, these are
what they
just
told me.
sources
This is just
that close
sources telling me,
that are closer to this
you know,
than we are.
yeah. And pretty much when that source tells me something, it comes out true. So that's why I believe it, because what that source tells me, pretty much what I hear every time that source tells me something, what's going on, it comes out to be true. So, that was what the source told me. So,
And
I'm going with
Te-
that.
Tejano Nation did share an article or post an article about this and talking
Yeah.
about, you read it, Johnny, about the patent plays,
Yeah.
see what if there's validity to this or not, and something about it showed live and pending. I don't know why it would show live and pending so many years later, Johnny, if it wasn't
Yeah.
true. Now, of
Yeah.
course, what that means is it's under the article say? It was under review.
Yeah. It was under review.
It was under
Hmm.
review. Now, I said for Jaime to make a bold statement like this last week and to continue to double down on what he's done like this, that means somebody's telling him it's
Yeah.
his, and that
Yeah.
somebody is, a lawyer or something. Is telling him he can do that because, like you said last week, I mean, if he starts using this name and look at it, there it is, Jaime Los Chamados. Look at
Yeah.
it, and I told you he was going to use it because it means something to him. It means something to
yeah,
him. It's his legacy. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
yeah,
So he of course wants that to write it out with that name. I don't care JDA,
yeah,
whatever. Yeah, that's great. He was forced into that, not because I wanted to change my name. No, his brand is right there. That's his brand. It's his history from 1979 to where he is right now. That name, that's what it means. So for him to use it like that and double down on it, and then you to hear what you heard, there's a good chance that this is legit. You know what I
and
mean?
and
Yeah.
es por nada, Anthony, and Q, pero don't you just miss seeing that logo, bro?
Oh yes,
I
of
I did.
haven't
course.
seen
I
that
saw that logo.
logo.
Yes,
And
I
I
I
know.
haven't
thought the
seen that
same thing.
logo
I was like,
in.
hey,
I mean
Yes.
I
that
remember seeing
logo
that
looks.
logo on
Yeah,
Outrageous, man. I
yeah.
remember seeing that logo on
That
Outrageous,
was the
man.
first time. No, was it that one or Unrivaled?
It
It
was
was. It
Outrageous
was.
was
outrageous,
before. Outrageous was before
outrageous.
Okay,
Unrivaled.
outrageous,
Yeah,
Yeah,
outrageous. Yeah, then
outrageous.
unrivaled. Yeah,
yeah.
outrageous
Yeah,
was the first time that we
It was
saw it like
the
that. Yes,
white cover where they were jumping, and
yes, when
yeah,
they were jumping
yeah,
up. Yeah,
yeah,
and it's been like
yeah.
yeah,
that ever
That's the
since.
first time
Yeah.
I've seen it.
yeah,
That was the first time I saw it.
yeah, bro. So now,
That's
It's
you
I
remember?
mean,
Hey, you remember? Como the song if you feel some loneliness, all
oh
you
yeah, yeah,
gotta
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
do is call me up,
yeah, yeah.
and I will
Dame
be there
un,
with you. Please
dame
don't
un
leave and
beso,
say
por
goodbye.
favor. Yeah,
Yeah,
Que me
that's
dame
it.
un beso,
duele
por
soledad.
favor.
I was.
Por
It
yeah.
was different. It
Oh,
marked
Hey,
the
pretty
change.
baby.
It marked the change of them, but
Yeah,
it was a very catchy. All the songs on that CD were very catchy. So, it marked the change, and of course, they took it from where they were at to even another level. Even though in my opinion, I love the era before that, which we
yeah,
just saw, but commercially they took it to another level, and that's when we met them.
yeah,
And with Como Te
yeah,
Amas Paloma, Tres Veces Te Engañé, and I mean the
yeah,
lists go on of the hits
yeah.
that they had
Oh
then.
yeah, yeah.
Like I said, it's a shame that it all has to end like this, but
yeah,
unfortunately, and I will say this, and I'm not taking sides on anything, and I'm not going against anybody. I posted that video, I showed that video because when I hear Los Chamacos or Jaime Los Chamacos, I don't care. Uh, that's that's what I hear. That's
yeah,
Yeah.
my vision. Everybody has a different vision. Wherever you became a fan of theirs or at that time.
yeah,
Now, unfortunately, it still doesn't change the fact that that contract is, you know, that contract is it everything is true in there. My point.
yeah.
Okay. Now loopholes exist, and people lose businesses, companies, all
Hey,
kinds of
man,
shit for the loopholes.
Yeah.
dude, it happens, man. It happens. It doesn't. You get what you pay for in legal advice and legal representation, man. I mean, these that's why these corporations can uh, form monopolies and get a stranglehold on certain industries because they have a lot of money to pay some really really good lawyers who are very good at their job, and they pay retainer fees and they pay millions of dollars to these guys just to keep them on standby. They're not even doing anything, just to keep them on standby. I will pay this guy hundreds of millions of dollars, man, because it's worth it. It's so stuff like this doesn't happen to you.
Of
But
course.
these are large industries, man. I mean, these are the pharmaceutical industries, the oil and gas industries. You know, stuff like this. I
Yeah.
mean, the entertainment industry, unless you're somebody like Intocable or Duelo or Ramon Ayala, Los Tigres del Norte. I mean, you really, who's going to get into a legal fight with Potente? You know what I mean? Like over the name. I mean, like,
Of
really?
course,
You
exactly.
know what I mean? I mean, what do
Hey,
you stand to lose? What do you say? You're going to waste more and ¿qué quieren?
hey,
Mi
hey.
carro? Llévatelo.
No, no, hey, no, no,
No,
no.
no trabajan
Quieren
las
that.
luces como quiera.
Hey, quieren the. They want that. Hey, they want your little service animal. That's what they want.
No,
Oh,
they ain't taking. Nah, they're not taking Sylvester, bro.
they're
You
not
draw the
taking
hey,
line right there,
Sylvester.
man.
They're
hey,
going to
pero,
garnish wages. They want their money.
hey,
God damn it! Hey,
hey,
this the
pero,
nickel. They're gonna get it.
pero, I mean, all bullshit aside, like I was telling Anthony, there's loopholes in all this, bro, and it can be as far as it can be just a little letter that's one missing letter or added letter, or it can be, a word in there, bro. That it's a loophole, man, and I mean that's what the lawyers are good for. They hire them, and that's how they get around it, man. And unfortunately, man, I feel bad. I feel bad for both parties that they're going through this, and I just wish they could resolve it, bro.
Yeah, man,
Because
it really
God,
sucks, man.
yeah.
It sucks for everybody involved, including the
Yeah,
fans, man. I think the
yeah,
fans are obviously the biggest losers here in this whole
yeah,
situation, man.
yeah,
It creates divisiveness in a fan base, you know what I mean?
yeah,
And so instead of being able to enjoy both bands, now you almost feel guilty for liking one
yeah,
and not the other, even though you really
yeah,
like both of them. But if you like
yeah,
this one a little bit more, man, you feel guilty and like, chinga, man, como que da
But
pena or
I'm
like,
gonna
hey,
be
man,
honest.
but
Johnny and I talk about this a lot. That would be true. I could see truth and validity to that statement if you still had Royal Ruben, and Chato on the other side.
I, I
Unfortunately,
I would agree with that
from
also. Yeah.
from
Hmm.
what we're seeing here, we're only seeing one of those.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when you look at it, as much as this may hurt to say and it may hurt to hear, is that really the chamacos?
Yeah.
Let's be
Oh
honest,
yeah.
guys.
No,
I
Is
get
that
I
I
is
mean,
that
get you.
even close to what we just saw here on Johnny Canales?
no, because you just got pretty much just one original, and everybody else is just that original guy. He's pretty much just got helpers behind him, you know,
Yeah,
Exactly. And
playing.
and
go
that's
ahead.
why I
Go ahead,
say,
Q.
man, you're better off, bro.
Using
Just find a
another
new
name.
name, man, because
That's
Yeah,
really
exactly what
and
I
I, and
said.
I,
because
and
it's
I'm not
really
putting
another
them.
band. It's
Yeah, and I'm not putting them down. I'm not putting the
No.
Chato, none of the guys.
not
They're
at
great
all.
musicians. They're great
Yeah, they
musicians.
are.
Chato's got, I mean, he's got great musicians behind him. But if you
Yep.
look at it, it's true. You know, Chato's the original one there, and I love these guys because I'm friends with both of them. But pretty much what you said, it's just Chato's the main one with he's got helpers behind him, and
And
they're
you
great
and
musicians.
and you have the same thing that went down with Tropa F and Dave
Hmm.
Farias. And what do you well, today for all those years it was just Dave Farias. Then it became
Hmm.
Dave Farias y su Tropa. I just heard him on a spot yesterday or day before. Dave Farias y la Tropa F. It was inevitable.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
was going to end
Wow.
up right there. And I
Yeah.
told you, it was just how long is it got to pass before that's going to get like that? That's
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's basically what it is, and we're seeing it happen yet again. When the
Yeah.
lead guy, the band is the entity or whatever, they get rid of the lead guy. Honestly, the only time that I've ever seen it anything close to different is what do you call it? Sunny.
Yeah.
That I can remember off ahead where one of the guys breaks
Oh
off
yeah.
and does better than where the original guy, Eddie
Yeah.
hasn't had since they
Yeah.
broke up or Vida
Yeah.
or whatever. Vida hasn't done what Sonny's done.
Yeah,
You
because
know what I
Sonny,
mean?
no, man, Sonny took off, bro. When he
Yeah,
went on
man.
his
But
own,
he was the show,
Sonny took
man.
off.
He was
Yeah,
the show, and he's very charismatic, man. So
Here we got
yeah,
he
one,
put he
Jimmy
put himself out
Gonzalez.
there. Yeah.
Jimmy
yeah,
Gonzalez,
yeah.
yes, you
He's
could say
right.
that. But
Yeah.
I
Hmm.
could make an argument that Jimmy Gonzalez was that, uh even though you had Joe
Yeah.
Lopez the lead man. I've heard stories that he's the one who got Jimmy. I don't know. I'm not going to get into Ma's thing, but Jimmy was the what held that group together even when Joe was
Well,
with them.
yeah,
That's
Yeah,
what I
but
heard.
you the situation's a little bit different because Joe was unable to pursue a musical career because he was
Yes,
incarcerated.
of
So
course.
so
yeah,
so that's a little bit different because I mean
You
you're
didn't
if
have to
you're
compete
unable
against
to,
him.
yeah, you don't have anybody to compete against because this is Maz now because there is no Joe Lopez. He's locked up,
Exactly.
So
yeah,
Of
there's
course.
a little bit different situation, but I mean
It's
I
forced.
understand where you're coming from.
They're forced. Yes, I do understand where they're, but like you said, Q, it's hard for Jimmy to. I mean, for Joe Lopez to create any competition when he
Yeah.
was
when you're
incarcerated.
incarcerated, yeah,
And what's he gonna do? Of hear
yeah,
the train to come Folsom Blues and shit from the
yeah,
prison.
You could Johnny Cash it, man.
You know what I mean? But yeah, but
yeah,
the one that comes to mind for me that's done it is Sunny, for sure,
yeah, yeah,
without a doubt. And you see it, and it is what it is. But more times than not, he went to jail '06. Okay, well there you go, Stevie D, All
yeah.
Star. They
Stevie
broke up
D,
'97. He
saludos,
went to
Stevie D.
jail '06.
Yeah,
Oh,
Obviously, he
okay.
knows a lot about.
Yeah, you got
Obviously, you know a lot about
broke
it.
up
There
in
must be your
97.
favorite band. So
yes.
congratulations. You know a
Bro,
lot more about
I
Maz
didn't
than
Hey,
even
what
know
I
they
bro.
do.
broke up. I
Hey,
didn't even
bro.
know they broke
Stevie.
up in '97, brother.
Yeah, Stevie D. Hey, that he's the one who's got the all cat. He's a good singer, man. He kind of to me he reminds me of Joe Lopez, bro.
I know.
His
I've
vocal.
I've
Oh,
heard
right
him.
on, man.
Yeah,
He does some good
yeah,
Maz. I've
yeah. He
heard it.
does some good
That's
mods.
my two cents. Hey,
Salud,
bro.
Stevie. Thank you for tuning in, brother. We
Yeah, I
appreciate
Yeah,
it.
appreciate your comments, man.
Hey,
Thank you.
yeah,
hey, Stevie,
Thank
thank
you.
you for dropping the comments. You want to know why?
yeah,
Because last week we didn't have nobody dropping comments when we got into this segment. So thank you,
yeah,
brother, for
Yeah,
having the stones to drop in the comments
yeah.
because that's what it's all
yeah, man.
about, man.
Hey,
Let us know what you think.
yeah, and hey,
Or
man.
what you know. Yeah.
Before
Go
we get
ahead.
off the
Go
air,
ahead.
I wanna send a get well to Mr. Lawrence. Lawrence, man.
He was
He
tuned in
comment
earlier. Yes.
I
in
saw him, Lawrence.
hello. He
Saludos,
says
bro.
hello, guys. I seen he was in the hospital, and I just want to wish him the best, man. I hope he gets to 100% real soon, man. And I just want to wish him the best and good luck, buddy, with everything. And we're praying for you, man.
Yes, likewise, I second that, Lawrence. I hope that you get back on your feet and everything goes good because, like I said, when you're ready, quiera Dios que muy pronto, so we can touch on that. Doing a collaboration with them, it'd be great. I know he's a big fan of ours, and it would be a pleasure to do a collaboration with, guys who are fans of Potente. You know what I mean? That's what
Yeah.
this show's about: getting perspective of guys like him who used to remember what Potente was back in those days and do collaborations with fans that are musicians that are fans of the group. So it's a pleasure to have got to become friends with him over Facebook through you, Johnny, obviously, and
Yeah.
hopefully we can make this happen. But first, we got to get him healthy. So,
Yeah.
primeramente Dios.
Yes, sir.
Q, any last words before we take off?
Man, I'm running on like 20 minutes of sleep in the last day and a half, and I'm ready to go to bed, brother.
I do have a spot you got to make. Can you make it before you go to sleep, or you going to want to make it when you wake up?
I'm gonna make it in the morning, man, when I wake up.
Okay, because I need it by lunchtime. Is that possible?
Oh yeah. Well, what I'll do is I'll wake up, man, and then I'll knock out the spot, and then I'll add those songs to the Google Drive for Conjunto Bin, man.
Okay, I
I
appreciate
got
that.
you. Yeah.
Guys, thank you so much. Great show. I'll see you next week, and we'll see what we'll get into here in the Potente Studio. For everybody who tuned in this late, thank you so much for tuning in. We really appreciate it. I
Gracias.
said,
We
we'll,
appreciate the support. Thank you, man.
Thank
y
you.
para toda la
Thank you.
raza de México, vamos muy pronto, el 4 de julio, vamos a estar ahí con todos ustedes. Vayan y compren sus boletos para verlos ahí. Hasta la próxima.
Saludos, Martin. Saludos.
Adios.
Saludos,
See you
Martin.
later. Martin
I
Rios.
love you,
Saludos.
Dave.
Victoria, Texas.